Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I need to talk to you about something that's been keeping me awake at night, and it's not just another royal family squabble. What happened with Harry's desperate plea to use the Invictus Games as reconciliation theater has revealed something so much darker about how far he's fallen. And honestly, watching this man destroy his own legacy in real time is one of the most painful things I've witnessed in years of covering these people. Now, I know you guys are excited for more, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, the sheer audacity of Harry thinking he could use wounded veterans as props in his personal reconciliation drama tells us everything about how disconnected he's become from reality. These games were supposed to be his untouchable legacy, the one thing that proved he was more than just the spare heir who couldn't handle royal duty. But the moment he tried to weaponize Invictus for his own family therapy session, he revealed that even his most sacred project has become just another tool in his desperate attempt to claw back relevance. When both King Charles and Prince William said no, when they used the phrase "no room for traitors" according to palace insiders, that wasn't just royal protocol speaking. That was two men who've watched Harry systematically destroy every bridge, burn every relationship, and monetize every private family moment for Netflix documentaries and tell-all memoirs. The fact that they stood shoulder to shoulder in rejecting him sends a message that goes far beyond family dynamics. This is the monarchy itself, saying that some betrayals are unforgivable. What breaks my heart about this whole situation is watching veterans reportedly turning against Harry. These are men and women who once saw him as one of their own, a soldier who understood their struggles and used his privilege to create something meaningful for their community. But when they hear that he tried to use their games as a bargaining chip for reconciliation, when they realized their triumphs over adversity were being treated as background scenery for Sussex family drama, that betrayal cuts deeper than any royal protocol ever could. The phrase that's apparently circulating among some veterans, "games for warriors, not whiners," is so brutally accurate it makes me wince. Harry has transformed from someone who embodied service and sacrifice into someone who seems to embody nothing but grievance and self-pity. That transformation didn't happen overnight, but watching him try to exploit the very people he claims to champion for his own rehabilitation is the moment we realized how far he's truly fallen. William's reported cold fury makes perfect sense when you think about what he's endured from his brother. This isn't just about family hurt feelings. This is about watching someone you once loved systematically attack everything you hold sacred. Harry didn't just leave the royal family. He spent years publicly mocking William's marriage, his appearance, his character, even sharing details of private physical altercations in his memoir. The idea that he could then show up asking for reconciliation photo opportunities at an event he controls shows a level of tone deafness that's almost sociopathic. King Charles's calculation was different, but equally devastating. As a father, he might want to reconcile with his son, but as a monarch, he has to protect an institution that survived for 1,000 years. Allowing Harry back into the fold without consequences would send a message that betrayal has no price, that you can cash in on royal secrets and still expect a warm welcome when it's convenient for you. Charles chose the crown over his son, and that choice tells us everything about how seriously the palace views Harry's betrayals. The donor situation is perhaps the most damaging aspect of this whole mess, because it threatens the actual substance of what Invictus represents. Corporate sponsors don't fund controversy, they fund inspiration. When the headlines about your event are dominated by family drama rather than veteran achievements, when people start questioning whether they're supporting wounded warriors or subsidizing Sussex publicity stunts, those checkbooks close fast. Harry may have created Invictus, but if his presence starts threatening its funding, the organization might have to choose between its founder and its mission. What terrifies me about Harry's desperation is how it reveals someone who's completely lost touch with his own reality. The man who once had the world's respect, who served his country with honor, who created something genuinely meaningful for people who needed it, has been reduced to begging for photo opportunities with family members who won't even take his calls. That level of fall from grace would break anyone, but instead of reflecting on how he got there, Harry seems to be doubling down on the very behaviors that isolated him in the first place. The veteran's reported anger isn't just about protocol or politics, it's about feeling used by someone they trusted. When you've sacrificed limbs or psychological well-being in service to your country, when you fought through rehabilitation and trauma to compete in these games, the last thing you want is for your achievement to be overshadowed by some privileged prince's family therapy session. Harry has turned their moment of triumph into his moment of humiliation, and that's unforgivable. The isolation Harry faces now is complete and devastating. He's cut off from his family, rejected by his former military community, increasingly irrelevant in Hollywood, and apparently unable to see that his own actions created this prison. The man who left royal life claiming he wanted to protect his family has instead exposed them to more scrutiny and criticism than they ever faced before. The man who said he wanted to serve the Commonwealth has instead spent years attacking the very institution that gives meaning to that service. William's refusal to participate in any reconciliation theater is particularly significant because it shows how the next generation of royals plans to handle family members who betray the institution. There will be no forgiveness tours, no redemption arcs, no second chances for people who profit from royal secrets. William is drawing a line that will define his eventual reign, and Harry is permanently on the wrong side of it. The phrase "no room for traitors" isn't just palace spin, it's become Harry's permanent brand. He went from being the people's prince to being the prince who sold out his people for Netflix money. That transformation is complete now, and no amount of charity work or wounded veteran photo ops can undo the damage he's done to his own reputation. Charles's position as monarch puts him in an impossible situation, but his choice to support institutional stability over family reconciliation shows remarkable strength. Previous generations of royals might have prioritized keeping the family together at any cost, but Charles understands that in the modern world, the monarchy's survival depends on maintaining public trust. Harry has damaged that trust repeatedly, and allowing him back without consequences would damage it further. The Invictus Games were supposed to be Harry's insurance policy, the one achievement that would secure his legacy regardless of what happened with his royal duties. But by trying to use those games as leverage for family reconciliation, he's revealed that he never really understood what made them valuable in the first place. It wasn't about him being royal, it was about him being genuine in his service to others. The moment he made it about himself again, he lost the moral authority that made Invictus special. The donor's nervousness about continued association with Harry reflects a broader truth about how his brand has become toxic. Organizations that once competed for his patronage are now quietly distancing themselves because association with Sussex drama has become more liability than asset. When your presence generates more negative headlines than positive impact, you become unemployable in the charity world, which is exactly what seems to be happening to Harry. Looking ahead, I genuinely don't see how Harry recovers from this level of institutional rejection. When your own father won't stand beside you, when your brother treats you as a stranger, when the veterans you claim to serve question your motives, when donors worry about your judgment, you've crossed into a territory where redemption becomes almost impossible. Harry isn't just estranged from his family anymore. He's estranged from the entire framework that gave his life meaning and purpose. The tragedy isn't just personal, it's generational, because Harry's children are going to grow up knowing their father was branded a traitor by his own family, that he was rejected even when he tried to make amends, that his greatest achievement became another source of controversy and division. That's a legacy that will haunt the Sussex family for decades, and it all stems from Harry's inability to understand that actions have consequences, and some bridges, once burned, can never be rebuilt. Ta-ta, and bye for now.